right, and we're back. I did look into the Brian Butler match. That match is actually happening tomorrow. Looks like, I'm just going to check the bracket here. I think they got a bye. So that's a tomorrow match for those of you who are looking forward to the Brian Butler match. Just taking a quick look here. Yeah, Brian Butler and Sean McKay will happen tomorrow. That will be a great match, though. And if I look correctly, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. They're like the 16th match up, so they will be in the second round of tables tomorrow. But that will be a deadly match. Stay tuned. We'll see if we can get that on the stream. In the meantime, this will be our third match of the night. Eric Vargas at the table, won the flip. Playing Johnny Andrick. If you guys could help us out and share the stream for us, that would be fantastic. We had about 100 people watching the last match. We're about halfway there for this one. An uncharacteristic miss by Eric there for the 3-ball. And I think Johnny sees enough of it to make it. This is Johnny at the table here. I believe he can see the 3-ball. 4-ball is going to be a little tricky. Maybe if he plays it perfect, 2 rails underneath the 4, possibly. Something like that. That might work, actually. A nice little rub there. Leonard is asking my name. My name is Stephanie Leonard. Obviously, Eric Vargas. Stephen Holem is also playing. Stephen Holem is one of the original members of Barry's team. So Barry was his captain. Nice shot by Johnny there. I favor him to get out on this table. Get the first point on the board. A little bit of a stretch here. And he does. Johnny is going to strike first blood this match here against Eric. This is our captain here. Captain Calgary, we called him. Barry had the biggest heart and took these, I'm going to call them kids, they were kids at the time, under his wing and helped them form these teams that have had so many successes. Masters team in Vegas, they hold the record, I believe, with the 4-peat down at VNEA. Beat some monstrous teams down there. If you've ever been to VNEA, you know that there are some very high caliber players and teams in that Masters division. And these guys, I believe, hold the title at the four years in a row with the wins down there. But this team consists of the original team was Steven, Ben, Joe, Eric, and Johnny Paypompe, who was sitting and commentating with me earlier. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Four of them, Stephen, Ben, Joe, and Eric, are in the top 5 of this tournament. Stephen is a 766 Fargo. Ben is a 757. Joe Spence in third at 744. Then there's Brady Golan, who's got 4th, and then Eric Vargas is 5th with a 732. So very accomplished players on these teams, and with those 5 players, they all have a $50 bounty on their head, since this is honoring their captain. $50 on the A side, $50 on the B side. But Barry took these guys that, just freshly moved into town, kind of gave them a place to go, made sure that they got to tournaments, made sure that they had jobs so that they had spending money at these tournaments, and just kind of mentored them in the Calgary and surrounding areas. Made sure that they had their tournaments paid for, rooms paid for, so that they could do some traveling. And he would be extremely proud of where these guys have gotten in their pool career. Noella is asking if this is streaming on YouTube, and we certainly are. I am following along with both chats, Facebook and YouTube as well. Leonard, a lot of 600s over there. They are definitely, there is no shortage of over 600s. We had 96 players in this event, and it filled up within a matter of, I believe, 2 days. It was full, 96 players. We currently have 60 players over 600 in this event alone. So this is no easy event to win. Even if you're favored at over 700, we've got 14 players over 700. And there are no easy draws, even for those guys. Nice shot by Eric there to get back to the 5. I think that was the trickiest of shots, just getting shape for the 5. Everything else seems fairly simple. Tic-tac-toe. 4 to the 5 was the key shot there. You're welcome, Noella. Brian Harder on YouTube is asking what part of Michigan is Grant in, and I want to say, I don't even know. I'm not even gonna say, because I'm gonna butcher it. it's like a weird name. I think it's like I want to say like Kalamazoo. Does that make sense? But a last-minute trip nonetheless. He was planning to be here. He had registered himself along with Damien with Jam Up. They were both supposed to be in this event, but that last-minute trip kind of called them away, and when work calls, work calls. So good news for the 12 or 15 people we had on the paid wait list. They were able to get in. Nice shape by Eric here, come around for the 9 ball. A little bit short, but I think he's still okay. Just waiting for Ben Liu on the right side there to finish his shot. Kalamazoo, yeah, 40 minutes from Brian Harder. I feel like Kalamazoo when I say or think Kalamazoo, I'm like, is that a real word or is it actually called Kalamazoo? Sounds like one of those made up places. Leonard likes how Eric and Steven travel here to Ontario. That's dedication to the game. Loves when Big Red loses. You know, I would still say Eric Orlifson. Eric Orlifson is also known as Big Red. But Eric still plays fantastic. Maybe fortunately, unfortunately for Eric, that there's some new blood coming up, and Eric and Steven play phenomenal. They love the game, they love to gamble, so they're definitely willing to make those trips. I believe, Eric would, or sorry, not Eric, Ben would also love to go out there, but unfortunately he's got like a Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 job and a fairly young son. I think Ryder is, I want to say 10 or so years old now. So, family man, he's got some responsibilities here. But I know Eric would love to do traveling with these guys, and I know it is in his plans to do more traveling this year. But tough when you only get so many vacation days. Yeah, Big Red's got his hands full. He sure does. These guys play great. But I know Eric loves the challenge. We see Eric Rosen at quite a few events throughout the year. It's nice to see that he's still playing. Eric blasted me when he was 15 years old in Winnipeg, ran 80 when he was 15 in snooker. Yeah, I mean, Eric can definitely play. But age is, not so friendly sometimes. It kind of catches you off guard. And when there's new blood coming up the ranks, you just never know how you're going to fare. And these guys love to take their chances. Brian Harder says that they have a place called Hell in Michigan. I will have to look that up, Brian. Fun fact. Oh, Bus Mustangs 1-1, you're right. I'm sleeping at the wheel here. Eric's going to give ball in hand to Johnny. And it looks like there's nothing really too tough about this table. Just about getting shape to the next ball. Everything is wide open. Nothing is tied up. Wants to leave a little bit of angle on this 2 to get back center table for the 3. Coming in a little heavy. Overran the cue ball slightly. See if he can get back center table for the 4, and he does. Nice recovery there by Johnny. Johnny's just analyzing the 5 to the 6. I kind of like drawing back here, just playing off that side rail. But the angles I see from the booth is definitely different from being live at the table. We'll see what he does here. Oh, he decided to go 2 rails. I like it. That worked out good. I know Johnny's actually been putting quite a bit of time in on the 9-foots. Originally a bar box player, but he's been playing a lot of 9-foot lately. You can definitely tell this game has really improved. Does he have a little bit of angle here on the 8? Sure does. Plays great weight for the 9. Great shooting by Johnny there. Give a quick shout out to our friend Nick at Nick's Q Innovation. Does fantastic queue maintenance work, you guys. If you ever trust anybody to do your queue maintenance, Nick is the guy. He is very affordable, takes so much pride in his work, quick turnaround time, and he has now a station. They've created a little station here at Leather Pocket Forum, so you guys can drop in and drop your cues off to him. Lots of people outside of the Calgary area ship their cues into him as well. He'll ship it back normally, I want to say, within a week. But trusted by so many pool players and lots of high-end caliber players and pros. Any tip that you could imagine he has in stock, has done so many repairs, cracks, you know, broken ferrules, things like that. Things that I didn't think were fixable, he fixes. He's magical. Leonard says Johnny looks calm, cool, and collected. He does. I'm actually very impressed. What a great break that was. I'm really impressed with Johnny's game. I know that I've been seeing him in Leather Pocket so much more often these days, and it is showing in his game for sure. Oh, there's our friend Nick right there. Anytime, Nick. You are the best. So I don't actually mind how this table is laying out for Johnny. He got 3 balls off the break. A little bit of a tough opener here, but could be worse. Whoa, ball. Whoa, ball. That was not good news. Just a couple of inches too far. Otherwise, I believe Johnny was out on that rack. And I believe that that cue ball is a little too far out to jump. Is it too far? I think. Is Johnny a lefty? I don't know if I've ever made note. No, he's a righty, so it's definitely too far to jump. So playing the kick here. Oh, hits the window perfect. I'm not really sure how he misses either the rail or the 3-ball. Leonard says this is where the 8-ball players and 9-ball players differ. It is true, but like I said earlier, I think both games have their pros and cons. 9-foot tables are difficult because there's so much more space, and you definitely, your arms got to be straighter. and your stroke has got to be more pure and more fluid. Whereas bar box players, your stroke can be a little bit more jabby, so you don't get the follow through or the draw that you would normally on a 9-foot table. However, your cue ball placement has got to be a little bit more spot on. Definitely more congestion because the table is, 2 feet smaller. And you're typically playing with 15 balls on a 7-foot versus 9. You have big windows to land on a 9-foot table, but very small windows on a 7-foot. So, which is why I really like the format of the tournaments that we have here at Leather Pocket. Not like we were the inventor, but I think it was kind of, the beginning of conception here at Leather Pocket with the CSL Invitational that we had years back. We decided we wanted to put, the A side on the 9-foots and the B side on the 7-foots. And we've just continued it because it just works so great. The tournaments run faster because you're working with double the amount of tables. You're not waiting on tables, so the waits for the players is not as long. And it brings another element to the game because you have to change gears between a 9-foot table and a 7-foot table, change gears between the disciplines, 9 or 10 ball versus 8 ball. And the favorite players on the 9-foots are not necessarily the favorites on the 7-foots and vice versa. So it's a great format for these types of tournaments. Eric just overran that last ball slightly. Wanted to stay underneath the 8 ball. Slightly overcut it. Or undercut it, overcut it, undercut it on the back bank. Johnny's going to get a shot at this 8 ball here nonetheless. Yeah, Blaine says left-hand jump. Yeah, if he was left-handed, that would have made sense that he would have taken the jump shot instead of that kick, but he is right-handed. Just likes to hold it and carry it around in his left hand. That's why I was kind of thinking maybe he would have taken the jump if he was left-handed, but didn't work out. I think Jim does that at his place in Scarborough between table sizes too. Yeah, it's very possible, Leonard. I'm assuming you're talking about Jim Weich at Corner Bank. So Jim has actually recently bought a property here just outside Calgary in Airdrie. It's probably like a 10-15 minute car ride outside of city limits in the next city over. And so we've actually seen Jim quite a bit here at Leather Pocket. He comes and hangs out quite a bit when he's in town. I know that Jim has got family here in Calgary. What a nice cut by Johnny there down the rail. Johnny is going to take a good lead here on Eric. Good for him. But yeah, we've seen Jim Weich a lot over the last several months. I think he bought a property out here last spring, February, March, I want to say. And he's been kind of commuting back and forth between Calgary and Toronto. It's nice to see him out and about. We actually have a really great picture of the last event that we had. He stopped in the Fargo Fair match. If you guys were watching maybe a few weeks back, we had Dave Martin, who is one of the owners at Hidden Spot, just up the road, maybe 10 minutes. Great pool room there. And then we had Sonia, who is the pool room here at Leather Pocket. We had Jim Weich, obviously the owner of Corner Bank out in Toronto. And who else did we have? And Brian Butler. Brian Butler was here for that event too. So we had 4 big pool room owners in the room at the same time. We had a nice little photo taken with them. It was great to see them all supporting each other in the same room. We're actually very, very lucky here in Calgary to have all these great rooms, and then all the owners, get along. We're all out supporting one another, showing up at each other's events. It's really great to see. Eric's going to play a little crafty end-to-end push out here. And I believe Johnny sees this 2-ball that he's on. It is a tough one to make, but he can definitely see it. I would imagine he's going to play a safety here, maybe just a small bump. Use the 4-9 as a shield on the 2. We'll see what he does here. He does just that. Does Eric have a window here? I know that gap looks pretty small on the screen, but you might have a little bit more room in real life. Nope, looking at the kick. That was good safety by Johnny there. It's a good hit. It's going to let Johnny see it, but there's some distance there. Could be better, could be worse. Johnny spears it in. Great shot. Great shape on the 3. Johnny might be on the wrong side of this 4-ball here. Could be going into the 9. I'm not sure if he can draw it back for the 5. That's the 5 on the top right there, or the top middle of the table. 5 to the 6 is going to be key, or the 4 to the 5, I guess, is key. Nice little punch, but he's going to be over the 9, a little bit more difficult. Maybe 2 rails for the 6. Almost, and he's straight on the 6. He's not making it easy on himself. Not making it easy on himself. He's fighting, but he is earning every shot here. Definitely for these shots, you would prefer to have a little angle so you don't have to work so hard, leave so much distance in between shots, but he might be stuck just taking what he can get. Oh, for this 6-ball here. And he does just that. He just makes the ball, leaves himself the distance. A little bit of a tougher shot. But sometimes you're stuck just taking what the table gives you. Great shot by Johnny there. Wow. Impressive. Johnny's been spending a lot of time in the pool hall, and it definitely shows in his game. I would say that Johnny is definitely playing above a 622 Fargo. He is rising to the occasion being on the stream. So hats off to him. This is our Captain Calgary here. This is Barry Hooey, who we have this memorial event for every year. When he found out that he had cancer, they had given him about 6 months, so he declined pretty quickly when he got the news. Love the game, love hockey. We took him to a game. We ended up at a game at the same day, and we were able to put him on the glass in the corner of the hockey game that day, and he just absolutely loved it. So had a jersey made for him. One time, Hooey on the back. And that was his saying. One time, every time the boys were at the table. Come on, one time, one time. Use your one time. So he's Hooey one time. And at every event that the guys go to, the Masters, this is the Masters of the VNEA in the dome there. They haul his jersey down from the rafters and they bring it on the road with them. And they always leave a chair for him. It's pretty touching to see these guys play in his honor. He'd be so proud. Rack number 6, alternate breaks. Johnny has been breaking like a king. Didn't get 3 balls this time, but everything is wide open. He's got a shot at the 1. I'm not sure if it passes the 3. He might opt to go for the 1-6 combination or even carom. That 6 ball is a hanger. A 1-6 combination, but he doesn't make it. So he's going to give Eric an opportunity here to get one back. Like I said, everything is wide open. Nothing is tied up. But Eric's made a few uncharacteristic mistakes in this match so far. And Johnny is capitalizing. Not letting Eric back at the table. Great bank. Here we go. This might be where Eric starts to fight back. Just take a little bit more time in between shots. Doing the be sure. Thanks, Colin. Thanks for popping in the chat. Hey, are you playing this event? I thought I saw you on the list. Good afterthought on the 2 to the 6, leaves the 2 over the pocket. I do see you there. You're number 35. I'm assuming maybe you had a bye. Do you have a bye? Are you still here? 96 players in this event, so obviously we're going to try and get through the first bracket tonight, 32 matches. We do have 10 9-foot tables available, so that should knock a couple of hours off. As of 2 weeks ago, we have 10 tables. They normally just had 8. So with the addition of the 2 new 9-foots, we're able to shave a couple of hours off on an event like this. Perfect on the 4. Hopefully he's got a little bit of angle just to slide over slightly for the 7. Just enough. Oh, Colin won his first match. Hey, congratulations, Colin. We'll see you tomorrow. Colin's another one putting a ton of time and work into his game. He's come a long way over the last year or two. Proud of the direction he's headed. I think we'll see a lot more of Colin. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of Colin on our streams. Eric is going to claw one back there. He's not going down without a fight. He knows that he made a couple of mistakes in those early racks, so if he's going to make it back, now is the time to do it before Johnny gets too far ahead. On paper, Eric is supposed to be the favorite here at a 732. He's number 5 out of the player list with the top Fargo rate. 14 players over 700. 22 players over 680. So lots of monsters in this tournament. And as you can see here by the Fargos, Eric is supposed to be the favorite, but Johnny is not giving him many chances. If Johnny gets to the table, he has been cleaning it up. Leonard says that there was a pool place up in northeast Calgary in a plaza just near at the end of the C train. I want to say beside Senridge Mall and also downtown. The hall off 7th Avenue near Center upstairs. Okay, so I believe, Leonard, that the places you're talking about, if there was a place by Sunridge Mall, that would have been Juniors. And Juniors was actually owned by Dave Martin, who now owns the Hidden Spot. So they've moved a few blocks closer. They're on the other side of Barlow, closer to Deerfoot, but in the same general area. But Dave was the original owner of Juniors, and then he just partnered up with Joanne, and they opened up the Hidden Spot. So Dave Martin is still around. That was the one up by Sunridge. And then if off 7th and near Center, I'm not sure which one that one was. The hall off 7th Avenue and near Center upstairs. There was back in, I want to say, 90s or 2000s, there was a Yankee Doodles off 11th Avenue. That was Electric Avenue. It was kind of like a street of bars. That's where everybody used to go to play. But Yankee Doodles used to be very popular, and that was on the 2nd floor. Maybe that's the one you're talking about. I'm not really sure, the one on 7th. It could be something else that I'm thinking about, but that's the one that comes to mind anyway. Can Johnny see the edge of this one ball? It doesn't look like it, but maybe he does. Does he have enough to cut it across to the side? Undercut it. Undercut it. Another wide open table for Eric here. He's got a bit of a tough opener. Not a gimme, but gives him lots of angle to get back for the 2 that's in the top right-hand corner. Three rails for the 2. Hey there, Silas. I think that's Silas. If that's really you, Silas. I don't know if it's Silas watching the stream or if it's George or Ursula. This is Stephen Holem's family watching from Prince George or Fort St. James even, maybe, depending on where you are. You're welcome for the great stream. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sure we will see your brother on the stream at some point. It's Silas, also known as George. Got you. Thanks for tuning in. I wouldn't expect anything less. I'm sure we'll see Steven on the stream soon. I don't know actually if he's already played tonight. I'll have to take a look. I'll take a look during the next rack here. I didn't actually see where he was on the draw. If you are interested, you can follow along the live draw. It's on Digital Pool. If you go to tournaments around across the top, just do tournaments and then do a search for Leather Pocket or 6th Annual. It will come up. 6th Annual Barry Hooey Tournament Leather Pocket. And you can follow along with the draw. Larry's pretty good about keeping up on the matches that are live. If somebody wants to put it in the chat, I can pin it for us. But I've got one device here on the Facebook chat. I've got the other device on the YouTube chat. Just pocket weight on the 6 ball to stay for the 7. Nice angle to draw back the right rail for the 9 ball. All about speed here. Uses 2 rails to slow the cue ball down. And Eric claws another one back. 4-3. One game in between these two. If you're just tuning in, you are watching the 6th Annual One-Time Barry Hooey Memorial Tournament. $10,000 added to this event. We are very, very lucky to have a pool room that supports events like this. They're adding $10,000 to the prize pool, and I believe all the prize payouts are listed on Digital Pool if you guys are able to go to the draw. This event here, like I had mentioned, it's a race to 9 on the A side, played 9 ball on the 9-foots. The B side is a race to 6, 7-foot tables playing 8 ball. So 2 different disciplines for this event here, and it is fantastic. It kind of speeds up the wait time in between matches. The players don't have to wait as long for their B side match. Rather than them waiting 5 or 6 hours for the next match, they're waiting like 2. So a great format. We love it here. George says he was scheduled to play on table 20. Well, Let's take a look. Oh, Steven, looks like Steven won his match 9-2. It's weird. It didn't advance him actually. So Steven will play tomorrow. It looks like his opponent is Rick Glenn. Oh, Plowman says he thinks that place was called Town Square. Could be wrong. I don't see, and I don't remember Town Square. But I didn't frequent downtown too often. I know Yankee Doodles because that was on Electric Ave, and who doesn't go to Electric Ave? Other than that, I was lazy. And to be fair, I'm probably not old enough to remember. We're just going to go with that, Plumman. I'm not old enough to remember. Yeah, you got it, George. Yeah, Town Square. I don't remember Town Square. I don't remember a place called Town Square. I remember maybe like, was there a strip mall called Town Square and then the pool hall was in that strip mall? Not sure. Great jump shot by Johnny there. Speared that two ball in the side. Great, great cut. Not like shape on the three was tough, but I mean he ended up in a great place for the three. Nice angle on the four to come across for the five. So Johnny's got a couple of options here. He can hit it hard enough to go two rails and end up between the window of the 7-9, or end up on the rail, between the rail and the 7. He opts for the window. That works. What do you do with the 7 here? Do you shoot the 7 up to the corner? I prefer the 7 to the corner rather than the side. CPM on YouTube says Johnny came to play, and he certainly did. Oh, that pool hall was called Billiards Square on 7th near center. George would probably know. Thanks, George. I don't remember that place, though, either. Billiards Square. What's Johnny going to do with this 7 here? I think it's almost a natural bank to the side, but then you kind of lose shape on the 8. Do you just play the safety? Maybe just cut it slightly and try to leave the 7 cue ball rail to rail. Nails it. What a nice bank that was. He's got another one in him. He's playing unbelievable. No.
He missed the 8 ball for 32.50 last Saturday. Tricky shot. He hit it like perfect. Got 3 horns in the side pocket.
Oh no. Ben Francis just popped in and said he's been playing unbelievable. Missed the 8 ball last week in a weekly for 32.50, $3,250. Missed the 8 ball. He said it was super tricky, but he hit it perfect, and it goes three rails and just bobbled and hung in the pocket for $3,250. But he's been playing amazing. Dave Francis says Town Billiards and Billiards Square. Can't say I remember those places, gents, but yeah, I suppose I could ask Jim. Jim's never on Facebook, though. I'd actually have to walk over and find him. He's probably in the massage chair. Oh, no. Johnny gave Eric a swing at that 8 ball after he undercut that 8 ball bank. And Eric had a fairly decent shot at it, missed it. Fortunate that he left it in a kind of a tricky place. This is one of those shots where kind of damned if you do, you damned if you don't. It's kind of a natural scratch in the side. I don't know. What do you guys do here? It's too far past the center, like you're overcutting it. You can't cut it into the side. But it's a natural scratch into the side if you cut it down to the corner. That was a great shot. Good shot by Johnny there. Played smart, didn't get impatient, didn't play aggressive. Played the odds. Just concentrated on the weight. Left it tough for Eric. This is makeable, but this is a really, really tough shot. I would actually favor Eric not to make this. This is a really tough shot. So that was a really good safety by Johnny there. Yeah, Kev, you were 50-50. Everybody's right. All you guys are right. Kevin, Leonard, George, Dave, you guys were all right. Leonard, it was a 32.50 weekly 8 ball payout. So at the Leather Pocket, very blessed that they support the pool community as they do. Oh, wow. What a great shot Eric just made. I cannot believe he just cut that. Did you see the smile on his face? Look at the smile on his face. He was betting that he wasn't going to make it. What a great shot that was. 9 ball to tie it up. 9 ball to tie it up. What a great shot that was. Good shot, Eric. Q-Ball said he would have Then bends 3 rails to the corner. Boss Mustang says I banked the 8 cross corner. Yeah. I mean, those were all options in my head too, but I think Johnny made the right choice there. He left a tough ball. It's just Eric's Eric. He's a 732. I guess he can make balls like that. I definitely cannot make balls like that. Yeah, even Leonard says double bank middle table. Plowman says smart playing by Johnny. I thought that was a smart play too. That was crazy. Like that was like he ginned it. Jinsu took the paint off that ball and ran it. That was a tough ball. Crazy. But like I said, Eric's a 732, so I mean he does things like that. We have a tie ball game, guys. It is 4-4. Going to be a race to 5 now. These guys are battling. I am super impressed with this match. These guys are not giving up a whole lot. And I'm really impressed with Johnny's game. You can tell that he's been putting so much time into his game. He's a very underrated 622 right now. He's playing, close to like, over a 680 speed. There's not much that he's been missing. CPM on YouTube says he made it look easy. Yeah, right? Perfect speed, just enough gravity just to suck that ball in. But on the other hand, I do think Johnny made the right choice there, playing the odds and playing the safety. He played perfect rate, left it right on the rail, tough cut. Tough opener for Eric here, but he just made that tough ball, so why wouldn't he make this one ball? It's almost straight in, really. Almost. Slight cut. Carol Ann is asking where we're located. Carol Ann, we're in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. You are watching the 6th annual Barry Hooey one-time memorial tournament. He was a beloved captain in our pool mecca community here. Just had a real love for the game and a love for the pool community here. So we honor him every year with an annual memorial tournament. And he would be really proud with the turnouts that we've been having over the last few years. This tournament here specifically I think last year was the same. We've had 96 players. That fills up with a matter of within 48 hours. Over 2 days, the tournament is full with a 12 or 15 person paid wait list to get in. And we start registration like two months, maybe 2.5 months in advance. So, the tournament fills up really quickly in honor of Barry. And we call him Captain Calgary because he's been the captain of so many teams over the years. But unfortunately got some bad news with stage 4 cancer and declined very quickly within a matter of 6-8 months, I want to say. But just loved the game. And so he would be really proud of the game and the turnout and the pool community that surrounds him in his honor every year. This tournament that you're watching is the A side is played 9-ball on the 9-foots, and the B side is 8-ball on the 7-foots. Johnny back at the table. Left himself a little tricky on this 3. I don't believe the 3 goes. Is he playing the 3-4 combination? Nails it. Come on. Tough to see by the angle here. It looks to me like he's still got this 3, but his body language says that it came out too far. I feel like if he had this 3 ball, he'd be down on it already. Oh, he had tons of room. Tons of room. He deked us. I'm going to call him Hollywood. He gave us a show there. Made it look way more difficult than it actually was. Plowman says it's an honor to play in his annual and will not miss it again, work permitting. You know, Plowman, like sometimes work happens, but if you have enough notice, like I think you should, because registration happens, you know, two plus months ahead of time, you should be able to arrange to have it off. It's one weekend, you know? But I know. I hear you. It's not one that I would opt to miss, for sure, if I can help it. We have a couple of events throughout the year, like you've heard me say over and over and over. In Alberta, we are very blessed to have multiple great pool rooms. One of them obviously being, oh, that was unfortunate for Johnny. One of them being the Leather Pocket that we're stationed at here. This is your traditional pool hall. Nothing super fancy. You just have great equipment. They have 10 9-foot diamond tables. They have 8 7-foot diamond tables. A couple of valleys for league throughout the season. Nothing too fancy schmancy. It's, you know, you're not getting, you know, gourmet meals or anything like that, but it's affordable. You can come in here any time of day and find a great game. The pool players love it here because it is just that. It's just your traditional hall. We have Hidden Spot, which is less than a 10-minute drive up the road. And they are a little bit more of a fancier place. Really nice ambiance, great kitchen. But they also have 8 9-foots and 8 7-foot diamonds. So really blessed to have a whole bunch of diamond tables there. Plus they have like a full-on arcade. They have a pinball league out of that place, and really nice venue there. And then we have a third pool hall that just opened just outside of the south end of town in High River, Sticks and Bones, and I believe they've got 8 7-foots and 8 9-foots there. Those are all diamonds, plus a full arcade, and that is a really nice place. Super spacious and nice and open. They have huge skylights, lots of great weekend tournaments there. And then we have Top Shots up in Edmonton, who has, I want to say, like 16 Raraka tables, 9-foot Raraka tables, plus a few snooker tables. One of them has the heated slate, full ping pong area, golf simulators, great kitchen there as well. Brian Butler owns that room. He's also playing in this event. And that's what I love about the Alberta pool rooms. Like all these pool room owners, they come to each other's events and they support each other. It's not cutthroat like it used to be back in the day. But great events throughout Alberta throughout the year. But some of them to mention, this one here being the Barry Hooey Memorial, happens in this time of year every year. The Len Memorial, he was the owner of this particular pool hall, supported the pool community like no other. If you heard me say earlier, he does a free Christmas dinner on Christmas Day for everybody. They deep fry turkeys and have this full on buffet for anybody who wants to show up. The Stampede Bar Box it's up at Hidden every year in July. That one is full every year. 64 players I think they have at that one. Fills up in a matter of 48 hours, that one as well. Top Shots open up in Edmonton. I forgot to mention that. They have the Wild Rose. It's a handicap tournament, but that one is like 96 to 128 players for every event, and they have that twice a year, I believe. But we're just so lucky to have all these events and so many pool owners that you want to support and help grow the game. Only bounty sides, no players meetings, Leonard's asking. So for the members of Barry's team, there is 5 of them. It's Stephen, Joe, Ben, Eric, and John Pay Pompey. There's a $50 bounty on the A side and the B side for those players if you knock them out. We don't talk about players meetings here in Alberta because the ALCB extremely frowns upon those. But if you were in the room, you might get a little side action if you're picking up what I'm putting down. But we don't talk about them. So we'll just leave it at that. Plowman, they just did it for the 5. They just did it for the 5 because Vino was only part of the team for like the last 2 years that Barry was not able to play. So I think they had it. I think Vino was included last year because maybe one of them wasn't able to make it. I don't know. Maybe Johnny was Johnny here last year? I can't remember. But yeah, Mark was only part of the team for 2 years, so they just put the bounty on the main 5. A little bit of a stretch here for Johnny, but I like his chances here. He might have to pull out the rake. Struggling a little bit with this stretch. He's stretching 3/4 of this table. Definitely does not want to take this shot for granted. This is a big swing. It's either 5-5 or 6-4. Came in a little bit hot. Got a little bit more cut on this 7 ball than he had wanted. Obviously would have preferred to be a little bit straighter on this 7. Good news, bad news, though. I think that he just has to make this 7 because he can come across, 2, 3 rails, still have shape for the 9. 9 balls like center of the table. Either side, he's fine. Just had to make the ball, and he did not. Gonna leave Eric a shot here, but this is not a gimme. Still gotta stroke this in. Boss Mustang on YouTube says, like the #1 rule, Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. That is exactly the rule. Eric plays a smart shot there. He knew that was not an easy shot. It was makeable, but definitely not easy. So he opted to take the better odds and just play the distance, play the weight. He caught the edge of the 9 ball, so this is not easy for Johnny. I think Johnny's got one of Nick's jump cues, so I feel like he's probably going to get the jumper out for this. CPM says he got a little fancy with the spin. I feel like you're probably right. I don't think that. I think you. And it's tricky because we see the angles here on the screen so much different than, being at the table. Maybe that cut was a little bit steeper than what we saw on the stream. Maybe he felt like he needed the spin to help it in, but Eric's going to get ball in hand on this 7. 2 balls left on the table. This 9 ball here to gain another one on Johnny. Leonard, I don't think you played Albert at Canadians. I don't think Albert's been out to Niagara for that CCS event. Albert plays a lot here in town. If any of you guys outside of town want to come to Calgary for our match, just let us know. We'll set something up for you. There's always action here in town. It looks like these guys might be taking a quick little break at 6-4, going into rack 11. So we'll give a shout out here to Nick's Q Innovation. He is the best in Q maintenance here in Calgary. Fantastic workmanship, very affordable, takes so much pride in his work. There is nobody better to do Q maintenance on your stuff. He has fixed things that I did not think was fixable. If you're outside the Calgary area, just send him a message on his Facebook page and he will work with you and ship your cues back and forth to you. He is fantastic. Here's a picture of the CSL team back in the day with Barry. I believe this was his birthday. This was his last birthday before he got really, really sick. So this was a great time. Everybody gathered at, this is the hidden spot here that we're at. Had a fantastic time with him. Plowman says, action playing for donuts? Right? If you're counting the zeros, yeah, I guess you could call them donuts. Always action here in town. So if you guys are planning on coming through the Calgary area, send us a message at CSL. We'll let you know of any tournaments that are happening while you're here. We'll set you up with a good match. Don't be afraid to reach out. Boss Mustang says, how late tonight are the games going? I believe we are playing through 32 matches tonight. So 3 rounds of tables. 96 players, which means that a third of the draw got buys until tomorrow. Those matches will start at 10:30 Mountain Standard Time tomorrow morning. And we'll just get through that first initial bracket tonight. So there may be one more stream after this one. We'll see. We'll see where it ends up. Leonard remembers playing an Alberta player from Fort Mac, a native fella. I think his first name started with an A. Pretty good shot. Well, I really can't tell you who that is, Leonard. That's you're not really narrowing it down. It's like I played this guy he had brown hair. And to be fair, we have so many good shots in Alberta. It's like it's kind of like the pool mecca of Canada, I would say. Anybody who loves pool will probably tell you that Alberta is the place to land if you love the game. Way to hold down the fort when your DGen husband is out of town. Right? I know it. I'm actually surprised at how awake I am. To be fair. It's a weekday, so I worked all day. I lucked out. I think it was just meant to happen. I lucked out. I got here and the parking lot was jam-packed. Kind of like sardined my way in and had to 32-point turn my way out of traffic. 1-9 combo here for Eric. He's looking for the quick win. Quick win. Nails it. It is a quick 7-4. Oops, wrong player. 7-4 for Eric over Johnny. So yeah, I think maybe I lucked out. It was just my lucky day. Got a good parking spot. Just as I was trying to get my way out of the parking lot, a couple of guys came out and they left, so I got a pretty good parking spot out front. Let's see what Johnny does with his break here. He's been breaking pretty solid. Had a couple of breaks where I think he made 3 balls. Been breaking like a monster. Oh, I thought I jinxed him. I thought it was a dry break. He made one. 1, 2, 3. He made the 4 ball. Tough opener on this one. Do you back cut it? Do you play the push? Play safe? He played the back cut. Not the easiest of openers for Eric either. 2 ball, I think, as long as you're on the right-hand side of the table, you still have a shot at the 2 ball, but that 3 ball is going to be tricky. I guess you could end up on the underside of that 3 and shoot it up to the top left, depending on the angle you get on the 2 here. Jammed it. Jammed it, and the 1 ball wipes its feet and stays up. Hope all your fans know I'm joking. Don't need the blacklist. As well as the husband. Well, it's too late, Plowman. It's too late. You made your bed. But I get it. I know you're joking. That's all that matters. All right, here we go. The 2 to the 3. This is the tricky one. He ended up having to back cut this 2-ball. So he's going towards the top end of the table. And being at the top end of the table, you have a really small window for that 3-ball. Window between the rail and the 6. Or you take the tough cut. And he's on the 50. He's on the 50-yard line. I'm not really sure if you can even take this 3 rail first because it's so close to the side pocket. Might just have to play a safety here. Plays for the hit and gets it. But Eric just pretty much made the shot on the 1-ball. He's pretty good at these back cuts. Yeah, I think you're probably right there, Leonard. Play the safe on the 2-ball. It was safer. Better odds. Use the 2-9 as a shield. That's probably that probably would have been the correct shot. Good news is that he's going to get another shot at this table, which he probably was not expecting. Oh my gosh, he's making it inside? Oh my god, he almost made it in the side. I thought it was in. Unfortunately, it's a hanger for Eric here. Nice speed to stay for the 5. Just a hit and stick here for the 6. Oh, he drew out. That's fine. Joe Green on YouTube is asking where this is being played at. This is being played at the Leather Pocket out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. 96-player tournament. A side is 9-foot 9-ball. B side is 7-foot 8-ball, which we will see starting tomorrow. That puts Eric on the hill in a race to 9. Johnny had a really good lead to start off with. It was 4-1, I believe. 4-1 at the beginning of the match for Johnny. And Eric has just been crawling back. So, Joe, we had the 96 players in this event, and it's $10,000 added. $120 to enter, $20 goes to green fees. So some big prize money for this one here. 96 players, 14 of those are over 700 Fargo. 22 players are over 680. $60 players over 600 is, I think, what the number was. Yep. 60 players over 600. So this is a tough tournament. There were no easy draws. Leonard says, I find when I watch Alberta matches, so many aggressive style players. It's probably true, to be honest. These guys, they love to win. But they're aggressive because, I mean, that's very rarely do they miss a shot. But they can play smart. That was a nice shot by Eric there. That's a good hit. And he's going to get fortunate. I think Eric might see just the edge of that 2 ball. Maybe. He might just be able to take the paint off it. Little swerve. Nice leave. And just as you say that, Leonard, not a lot of safes. We end up with a bit of a safety game. Careful what you wish for. I thought Johnny might be able to. Oh, that was a great try. Great try. I thought maybe he was going to be able to just take it down this left side rail here with a little bit of spin and make contact with the 5. I guess not. Went for the kick. Let's see what Eric tries to do with this 3 ball here. That 3 ball is kind of in a tricky little spot. It will go down to the bottom right corner. He could 3-7 combo to the top left. I think he's going for the combo, but he almost overran that. This is much more of a cut than he had wanted. It was tough to hold that ball. That 2 ball was so deep in the pocket. Safety. Good safety. What'd you say, Leonard? You wanted to see some safeties? Here you go. Three foul rule is in effect, however, we haven't even come close to one of those yet. Wow, Johnny's really good at these banks and kicks. He is not missing those by much. Three 7 combo. Be careful where this 3 lands. Worked out good. Worked out good. Draw back for the 5 here off that side rail. He's perfect. Perfect, perfect. Nice angles. Come center table for the 6. This is for the win here if Eric can just bear down for 3 more balls. Leonard says, I see that Johnny hasn't tried to jump at all. He kicks at the shot always. You know, some players are more comfortable with the kick, and he's good at them. But he did play a couple of jump shots, because I remember making a comment about him having one of the Nick's custom Q jumpers. So mental note also, if you're looking at jumpers, Nick makes great carbon fiber jumpers. all the players in Alberta and Calgary here have one. What a great match by Johnny and Eric there. Johnny was off to a really good start, had Eric down at a quick 4-1. But Eric knows how to grind, and he came back for the win. So give me a few minutes, guys. I think I'm just going to see where we are at for matches. I'm just going to refresh the draw here and see if we've got another match coming up. These are all live. Guys, I think we are done for the night. It looks like all the matches in the first round are already underway. So it looks like we are signing off for the night. Done for the night. We actually got through 32 matches tonight on 10 tables. So very well done by Larry Walper, our tournament director. I will see you guys back here tomorrow. I'm not sure if there will be a 10:30 stream or if it will be a 12 noon stream. But we will be back fairly early tomorrow, and there will be lots of great pool to watch tomorrow. 96 players obviously going out into the knockout rounds tomorrow into the B side. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you early tomorrow. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.